Now our challenge today is to use a postcard, and I thought it would be fun to use a vintage postcard and make a little folio type thing. You know how much I love folios with all the flips and flaps and all the fun, right? So that's what I'm going to be making today. And I hope that you will join me. And we've had so many fun presenters already. So if you've missed some, be sure to, check them out. And, there's always replays available. So that's always an easy place to watch everybody is, in the group. And then you can watch the replays as well. So I stream to both Facebook and YouTube, so you can always find mine here if you're on YouTube. So if you see me commenting to anybody or making any responses to comments that you don't see, then that's why, because they're on the other platform. So don't worry about it and just enjoy the fun. I hope that you will join in and make some comments, and we'll have a good time. So and sometimes it's hard for us to see comments. I'll go back and check everything though. So I hope you will participate, because usually everybody else can see them. Why presenters can't is beyond me, but anyway. So thanks for sharing me in. This is presented by Joyful Artistry by Heidi, and Heidi loves vintage things, and so she does a Vintage Wednesday once a month, and so we've always got some fun things. Now, we did not have to use a postcard necessarily that was really vintage, but I do happen to have some. So let me put you down here, the desktop, and we will just jump in here. Okay, you guys, I had some I've got so many things I've pulled together. Some of them are sitting right here. Some of them are off to the side. And I've got all kinds of stuff going on here, right? And then you never know how much time you're going to have and if you'll have enough time to, get everything. And then when I got started, everything was just glaring white. And so I had to pop in and out of the thing I used to be able to do that. So I thought it would be fun to use this kind of as a base to get started. Now, I made a mistake one time when I bought a set of 5x7 cards like this. This isn't even a card. It's only like this. It's like one sheet. It's kind of like a postcard by itself, right? So I thought, well, I want more than that to be able to flip-flap around here. And so I thought, you know what? I'm just going to make a cream-colored piece that is, a regular 5x7 card. Oh, hang on a second. What have we got going here? I got these things flip-flopped around. Let me see. There we go. Okay, now I can join the fun. Join me here in the circle. Oh my goodness. So, hi Jeannie, Susie, Missy, Pam, Diane. Thanks for getting me put in there, Heidi. Hey, Christy. And up after me is going to be Christy from Funky Junk Inspiration. So, you guys don't miss the fun. Okay, so first of all, let's cut another piece here. So, let's see. I need it to go, if it's a 5x7, we need 10 inches this way. So then we need our 7 inches this direction. So let's open this up here and cut 7 off that way. And you know what? I have been playing around with this because I'm like, I'm not sure that what I want to do is going to work exactly like I want. And I'm not afraid to give it a try, right? And so 10 inches, and then we'll have a 5x7 card. Like a card base anyway, right? Let me just go ahead and score it here. So 5. That'll be easier. I won't even have to think about it. I'll just measure it on here. Okay, so there we go. Okay, now the other thing, while I've got my thing out here, is I think I'm going to cut this in half so that it can flip-flop up and down. Let me see. I tend to work closer to my body, and I always want to make sure I can get all of that in the thing, right? The frame. So, and I don't really need this to be exactly half and half, but I don't know, it'd probably look more appealing, right? It probably would look more aesthetically appealing if I do. So that would be about 3.5. So I'll just go ahead and do 3.5. Okay. And then we won't have to give that any more thought at this moment anyway. Let me just get that out of the way. Okay. You guys, I'm going to give you a quick tip in case you never really thought about this. When you've got, this is where I keep some of my scoreboards and stuff over to the side of me. I have like, there's some carts underneath a table that is raised up, and it's like one of those folding tables, but it's higher. I have it set higher than like at a table height. So those things go underneath, and there's about this much space between the top table and the bottom one. And you guys, it's a perfect space to put things under. And the reason I even thought about doing that was I had a friend who when she was redoing her craft room, you know, she purposefully did her workspace like that, so that her, you know, her space right here set up just a tiny bit, you know, above another space under it. And I honestly think she had it to where she could even see what that stuff was under there. And I always thought, you know, that's kind of clever, because that gives you just that much more space. And, you know, how handy to be able to store things you use all the time, you know, near you, out of the way, and just use them like that, right? Okay, let's do, I want to round the corners to this. The flaps. Let's round the corners to the flaps. Let's see. I used the 1/4-inch one. Then I should make sure I remember which one I used, right? So I used the 1/4-inch side. And you guys, you know what? I went ahead and I just turned my phone off so nobody could bother me and burst into my feed. And then I'm like thinking, well, now I can't see comments from the phone, because that actually had gotten where it was like the most reliable place I could see comments. Now, if I'm going to put these here, let's see, what shall we do? You know what? I'm going to do this thing that I've started doing recently, which some people want that tab like hidden. And I have found that if you make about, I'd say about 3/8, at least 3/8 of an inch, and score it. I'm going to do both of these. And then just glue that part flat down. You know, now there are times you wouldn't want it to look like that, but most of the time, I don't think it looks that bad. I think it looks fine. Oh, you guys, if you can hear the crazy pants dogs, sorry. I have no idea what's going on. There's plenty of people home and I don't have to worry about it, right? So for that one. And always when you score and you've got the little divot going here, you actually fold that the other way, because you've stretched those fibers. And sometimes, you know, we're gonna fold it this other way too. So, you know, and sometimes it kind of helps if you actually score on both sides of your item. So now I'm just going to put a little glue on there, and I'm going to put it right here. And yes, that's what I'm going to do. Sometimes you have to think about it, right? Oh, phew. I thought it was going to have one of those moments where it was all clogged up and I had to fix it. So you guys, I just came back. I only got to see Lori's. I'll have to go back and do replays because we were at a 3rd grade awards today. so we went off to that for the great grand, and so that was fun. That's always fun. They were going to have a picnic. We didn't stay for that because actually they don't start that. They give you like an hour in between. And I had forgotten that, and so my granddaughter and I were talking about that. I said, oh my goodness, I was thinking we'd stay for a little while and then leave, but I go, if they're not going to start until then, I said, we're just going to go ahead and go. But, oh my goodness, you know what? How fun. You see that bunch of kids, and it's like, You know, just a lot of fun. Okay, now these, because just because of the height that the piece was, and where I split it, and now I put it on and bumped it up to the top to be flush on the top and the bottom. Now I've got this tiny little gap right here, and I kind of like that, because then you can tell, you know, okay, there's going to be something else fun in there, right? Okay, so there we go. And we'll just let that dry. But I am going to give it another little crease. Okay, so let's see. What else should we do? Let's do something else here. Let me see if I can see some comments. Let me see. So what have you guys been doing? Did you go off to any award ceremonies for the morning? Oh my goodness. Oh, we got lots of people here. Now I can see more people. Hey there, Dana, Linda, Molly, Celeste. Lots of our friends. Mandy's here. You got Karen, Linda, Susan. Oh my goodness. Thanks everybody for popping in. Okay. How many of you love Vintage Wednesday and seeing the things? Now, one of the things that, you know, Heidi says is that, you know, like this today, we didn't really have to use a vintage postcard. Kind of the whole premise of the project is to, you know, give it kind of a vintage-esque look. How does that sound? Vintage-esque. That's what I'm going to call it, right? And so I always think that's a lot of fun. Okay, now then, for the next part where we've got our card right here. Okay, now this is kind of a problem. Sort of. Now I don't know what I'm gonna do about this. I've got some ideas. Let's go ahead and let's just soften these corners. How many of you like to round your corners off just a little so it gives it a little bit softer feel? I kind of like that look. Okay, so here's the deal. I want to put this back under in here, but here's what happens. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. See, it's wider than where this is right here. But you know what? I'm going to rescore that so this will fit, because when we put this on here, and I don't know, I think I'll do it like this. I think I'll actually attach it here. Well, I don't know, that doesn't make any sense. Then we can't use the entire back section. Well, we could make a pocket out of it. We could make a pocket. Actually, I could cut some of that off and then make a side tuck pocket in there. That'd be kind of cool. But this is what I was thinking. Even though this doesn't come all the way over here, even if I fold this so I don't have to cut that postcard, when we fold this, it's still going to cover the edge. And I think that's what I'll do. Let's do it. Let's just cut some of this off and make a tuck pocket in the back. See, this is what happens. I get kind of a general idea, and then I just go for it and see where it takes me. How about you guys? Do you do it kind of like that, or do you... I mean, I don't know any other way to do it, honestly. Unless I've got directions, which nobody's given me directions, right? Let me see. Do I have my tiny little circle punch? There's no telling. Well, I did have it. I don't know, I remember putting some stuff away, but I don't remember putting that away. Of course, you know, does that mean anything? Maybe not. Well, shoot. Okay, that's okay. We're going to live with it. But I think what I am going to do is, while we've got this here, let's stamp on this. I used this stamp yesterday, And that was kind of fun. And today, let's use some of the vintage photo color, and it will kind of tie in with our craft color envelope, right? Man, this is sure different than using the black, you guys. I can't really see that it's on here good. And you know what? I'm okay if it doesn't stamp the complete image all square and fabulous, because I don't really want it to do that. So, in fact, I probably should grab a sheet of paper so I can put it on the edge. All right. Let me scroll up and see what's going on. Jet lag with 4 kiddos. Oh my goodness, Molly, I didn't see where in the world you've been. Okay, so this is going to be the outside, like this. So this will be our front. So let's just put some on there. And I kind of wish it was a little better than that, but it's okay. And what I should have done is take the paper to the stamp, like this. And I actually think I'm just going to lay this on here this time. Oh no, look at that. Messy hands. Okay, we've got some like that. Let's just go ahead and press it on here again. Well, you know what? Let's just keep using up some of the ink and getting some of this off. Okay, it's a mess and I like it. You guys are probably like, oh my word, what in the world did she do that for? Well, look, now it's got all kinds of interesting stuff on it, and that's the wrong direction. Oh my word. I've got it upside down, you guys, don't I? Well, that one is. Part of it is, and part of it's not. Oh. I'm just going to go with it. I'm just doing it, you guys. You know, they talk about the non-directional paper. Here, I've made non-directional paper for us. Crazy. Let me wipe my hands off. Goodness gracious. Okay. Wipes are one of your best friends in the craft room, right? Get some of that off so we don't get ink on everything. All right, so we're going to put this on here. Now, how are we going to put it on there? Oh, well, you know what? Oh, I know what we're going to do. Because it wraps around, and this is going to be a pocket. Oh, this is going to be easy, you guys. It's not going to be super tight either. I love this accidental discovery. You know, sometimes I shouldn't tell you that I've done it by accident. I should act like it was my intention all along, right? And then you would think, oh, well, that's a good idea. Instead of going, whoops. I'm just going to put it on that. And the reason I'm putting it along there, it's not going to go anywhere anyway, but that way, oh my word. Okay, I got to think about this before I do something else dumb. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I got it. Now we'll just fold it over, and I want it to be kind of centered because it doesn't meet the top and bottom, so we'll just kind of center it like that. I don't know why I'm rubbing all over there. Okay. Phew. Oh, Dana, you went. Oh. Oh, you couldn't find me in the Crafty Bunch, Celeste? Am I not there? Can somebody else check? Heidi, if you're still here, can you make sure I'm in the Crafty Bunch? Actually, hang on a second, you guys. I'll check. I can check quickly. No, I'm there. There I am. Okay. Okay, so now we got a little pocket there. I like it. We got this here. This is messy, and I'm not thrilled about that. But you know what, you guys? We can add some. Now, I had thought about using some lace to be kind of a hinge and to hold it on like that. And then I decided, no, I'm not going to do that. But now we're going to put on this little card, and we'll put it like this. And I don't know, should we do that same method so we don't have to cut the card? Or, I don't know, because I'm going to make it open this direction. Oh, and look at this. It actually has, it didn't have an address, but it was like, you know, they meant for it to be to somebody's, right? That was cool. Linda says she's out doing yard work watching. Mandy, I like to be on the cutting edge, you know. I'll make up some new words for us, right? Okay, so we do want this to be, we're going to have to score this or make sure that we can get this folded. And I think I'm just going to kind of lay it here. Or you know what? Let's attach this so we know that we've got room for our fold over part. How about that? So, gosh. I'm thinking how I want to attach that. You know, I think I'm just going to do the same thing with it, actually. Then we can still see the whole card. I had thought about, you know, you guys, if I trimmed off this, the border on each side, it would have fit just right within, you know, where, with this part here. But I thought, I don't want to do that. You kind of lose the frame of the postcard, and it kind of loses its, you know, charm, its postcard charm, so to speak, right? So I didn't want to do that. Oh, Celeste has been busy doing some organizing and labeling. I tell you what, that can really help. I tell you that. Now, you know what? Because this is kind of thick, I think I'm actually going to score this at 1/2 inch this time, so that it'll be a little bit easier to open and close than the 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to do it on this way, and I'm actually going to do it on both sides. It'll make it easier to fold back and forth. Okay. Hey, Anne. Oh, Kathy, thanks for letting us know you were watching there. Yeah, I found it. I saw I was there. Okay, and so now we can just put this in here, and I'm just gonna, I will go ahead and glue it. I didn't want to glue it. I thought, but you know, what else am I gonna do with this postcard? Why not? But I'm just happy to just leave it all intact. How about that? And I'll just live with that and be glad that I decided that. Now, I'm not gonna put it at the bottom. I think I'll raise it up a little bit. And oh, look, if I put it there, I can see that window. Look, can you guys tell why I like this postcard? You guys know I like little houses and stuff. So when I saw this, I'm like, oh, I got to put that in there. It's got that little house. How about that? So let's do that. And now I can see where to fold this. And I'm just going to put it right here. And now I can bring it over here. And, oh my goodness. I flipped it right off before it was dry. What in the world? Boy, I must have been doing some heavy flip in there. I like the flip flaps, but I didn't mean to flip it right off, right? I know. Heidi, isn't that a fun postcard? But look, now you guys, because I folded it, it's cracked some of the ink. The ink is cracked looking. But it's not too bad. Okay, so let's go right along. Now I can put this over here and I can see along the edge, and I can pretty much straighten this up, hopefully. That didn't even score. What's going on there? I know why. Never mind. I know why it did that. It can't go all the way to the paper because the postcard's in the way. Let's do something different. Let's do this. Let's put it down here. I'm going to line up my metal ruler on this line and push this over here. And then I can do that straight. And then I can, that doesn't look straight. Why is that not straight? Well, let me line the envelope up on the line too. How about that? If you're gonna try to be smart and use the grid, you should use the grid, right? Okay, now I can put this here, and now I can just use that and fold this against it. And you guys, that works really well. And now I can fold it down. Okay, now we've got, this will go over here, and see what I told you? It covers it. It looks crooked for some reason, but let me just pull it a little bit. I'm the boss of my paper, and I'm going to make it look more straight. And sometimes you just need to, you just adjust it a tiny bit and it looks so much better. Okay, now, because I want to show you how we're going to make the closure, let's do that real quick. So we're not at the end and then I didn't show you yet. We're still going to put some other pockets and things, but let's do the closure. I've got some ribbon somewhere. I got a great big spool of ribbon somewhere. Where is it? Okay. What in the world? Well, that's interesting. It's a giant spool. Oh, you guys. Why, oh why? I got all the things out to use, and now it's hiding. You know, it's another one of those. Now, we know the scissors, often we have to put out an all-alert bulletin for what happened to the scissors, but I don't think a giant spool of ribbon I've had to do that for. Well, it's a cream-colored ribbon. It's some of that organza, and it's so pretty and sheer. You know what? Hang on one second. I might have some cut pieces that would be plenty long. Wait 1 second, and I will see if I have one I can grab. Well, well, I don't see that, but you know what? Here is a pretty peach color. That's so crazy. Okay, move my chair. I had to get a new chair, and this one doesn't have wheels on it, and it's kind of annoying. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. I love this kind of closure, and for those of you who've watched me, you know I've done this many times. But what you do is you take, and then sometimes it's good if you can have something here to reinforce it. Well, I'm not gonna do that right now. I didn't think about that. But what you can do, let me just show you real quick so you know. You can take another piece of paper like this. You know, maybe I'll just do it now. I'm going to cut it. And I'm going to use the corner rounder. so tiny. So what I'm doing is making something that will basically reinforce where I'm going to punch a hole. So I can put this here, and I'm going to just glue it on. I don't know. Do you guys ever find yourself doing that? Taking a plain piece of paper that's the same on both sides, and then you get ready to glue it. You're holding it, looking at it, and you get ready to glue it, and you flip it over the other way. Well, what difference did it make? It's the same on both sides. You know, kind of funny. Okay, now, oh, you know what? Let's put a little something something on here. I have to dress it up a little bit, right? We can't have it just there without anything. Okay, there we go. Now we'll put it on. Okay. No, that's not. Now it's not too gluey. And we'll go ahead and cut into here. So now we're going to punch one hole here. I got that upside down. Not punching any holes like that. Well, that's what? Oh, here. I have used a hole punch before. Okay, so I'm going to punch one here. Oh, like that. And now into where this crease is, I'm going to go straight across from it, and I'm going to only do half the hole, so that then when you open it up, it's a whole hole. Oh my gosh. Okay, now we're going to take our ribbon and we're going to go, and it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can, well, no, it does matter. You want this to hold down the top. So you got to go in through the front. Oh my goodness. In through the front. Out through the seam, or whatever you want to call this, the hole, the back side. Okay, like that. And now you need enough that you can pull it all the way around. This is kind of pretty actually with this peach color. Now that I see it, I'm almost glad I didn't find the cream color. So you need this to go all the way around, and then I don't know, you know, you can play around with it and make it however long you need it. It's probably plenty long, and then you can just tie it. I gotta close my glue up. Okay. I know, right? You put stuff away and then it's like, where did I put it? Even though I have so many places that it's really kind of organized, I mean, still, you think something is out on your desk and then you get ready to use it and it's like, well, I thought it was. So there's that. And then you can just tie it right here. That. And there it is. Then it's closed. And isn't that a fun, easy closure? I love that. That's one of my favorite closure things. And look, now that it's like this and we've got something going across, you don't even really notice so much that half of the stuff's upside down. No, wait, I made non-directional paper. Sorry. Okay, so we've got this and we can put some little pockets and things on. I thought that I have this piece right here, and I'm just going to have to cut it because I want to cut it on the diagonal. I don't know. Wish me luck. I don't know how this is going to go. Well, you know, I know. Let's do this. Let's fold it this way. And then if I cut it across, that should be straight, right? I hope. Is that true? I hope so. Well, kinda. It's a little off. I got more of a dome shape going that way. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it. Let's just leave it. Oh, look, and then we can just put it like this, and then it would give us something else to put on. And even if that phrase, I wish it was kind of frayed already, but the fact that, you know, it has fray potential, right? Fray potential. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's glue this one on. You guys, I was thinking I had a brand new bottle of Fabri-Tac, and I couldn't find it. And then I see it peeking off over here under my computer screen. And I'm like, oh, there's my extra glue. I'm so excited. Well, guess what? The extra glue is almost empty. It was not a new bottle of glue. I'm like, oh, well, that's not helpful. So I've got to get another bottle of Fabri-Tac, you guys. And you know, this one just feels like it's not even going to come out of here. Is there anything better? What's better than a new bottle of Fabri-Tac that flows freely? Give me some hearts if you think that's a fabulous thing. Is that a fabulous thing to happen? Is free flowing Fabri-Tac? Oh my gosh, I can't use this one. That must have been the one that was sitting over there on the other side of the desk. Oh, okay, let's try again. Well, I should have shaken it. Shake it, baby. Okay. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna get some out. You don't have to have a ton, right? Just some to get it stuck down. Oops, I don't want that glob. That will not. It's gonna be hard to have a pocket if it's glued in the middle. Well, then it'll just be pretty, right? It'll just be a pretty item. Okay. Okay, I'll just pat that down. I doubt I'm gonna get finished with this today, you guys. I had some other stuff to put in, but ew. Like I said, wipes are one of your best friends. Oh my goodness, that was messy. Okay. You love all my specialties. Oh, now what might that be, Celeste? You guys crack me up. You're the best. I tell you what, I love hanging out with my crafty friends, and when, you know, being able to interact some is the best. No, it's not. Being in person is the best, right? Interacting in person is the best. And you know what? If you ever get a chance to hang out with, you know, some people who really enjoy doing what you do, you know, it's always fun. You know, it's special to meet up with people who have, you know, the same kind of interest that you do. I mean, my goodness, people who live at my house, are they wanting to do this with me? No. They don't. So, you know, when you can meet up with people that have similar interests, it's just so wonderful. Now, I'll tell you what, I also found that I thought would be fun. Oh, guess what I've got here? Oh, let's do this real quick. You guys, here's a page of some of my, this was the Village Friends and Moments, that is a little add-on. And I printed this at just 75% so that it could be small. And I'm going to put this behind that house. I'm just going to cut this out first. So this was one of the add-ons for my printables this month. And you can find where to pick this up on the front page of my website. So that's myartfuladventures.com. And I made it easy so you could find it. Now, when you do it this tiny, there is like a little bit of a cut line, kind of like if it were going to be stickers. So, because I printed this so tiny, that is too tiny to think I'm going to be able to do that. But I'm just still going to cut pretty close around. Now, I don't know. What do you think? Should we give it a little touch of ink around the edge too, or just leave them? The ink always kind of helps kind of pull it together, don't you think? But oh my goodness, this can be hard. Cutting out that tiny teacup. Oh, can you even see what I'm doing? Sorry. But I thought this would be so cute behind that postcard with that house. Oh, maybe that whole house is a special place. It's an old building, and they have made a tea room in this old house. How many of you have gone to somewhere that is like an older building, and that is exactly what they did, was they made it kind of a really fun, place, and it's meant more for ladies, right? I'm not going to count out the guys, but you're primarily going to see women there. I know close to where I grew up, in an older part of one of the original town things that was close to us. It wasn't the city where we lived, but they had an old little downtown, and there were places that they had gone in and kind of done some fun things with. And that was one of the things that they had done, was they had taken an old house and fixed it up, so it was kind of like a little cafe tea room kind of thing, and they were open. I had seen some pictures of it. I never have been. I'm not always, usually when I am back to that area, we've always got so much other stuff to do, so sometimes it's hard to go and find new places to do stuff when you're trying to see your people and all that kind of stuff. But I'm like, oh, that would be, I was just so glad to find out that they had done something fun with it. You always like to see them doing things like that, instead of just ripping them down, or doing something to kind of renovate and use them in some fun way. At least I like to see that. How about you guys? Do you too? I think for those of us who are doing kind of things like this, that kind of enjoy vintage things, we probably all are happy to see things that are done like that, right? Okay, I think I will go ahead and hit it with a little bit of ink. And I'll just use my tiny little brush here. I'll kind of take the white edge up, except then you've got these places. It's going to be kind of hard to get in there. And I've showed you before how you can also take a tiny paintbrush and just use it for tiny places. Tiny. I like tiny. If there's a way to do something tiny, I want to do it. And I'm not even going to worry about getting that more on some of the image. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine, you guys. I know it. I know it's going to be fine. It just makes it more vintagey, right? Okay, that's not too bad. Does it make it vintagey or just dirty looking? What do you think? Vintage or dirty? What's your choice? And now we can just put this in here. I like it. And did you guys see, having the envelope, we've already got another pocket, but I'm going to put them there. I'm just going to glue them flat. Oh, I should have cut out some. I've got also, that came with the printables this time, there were some cool words. I'll have to go back and grab some. Okay. Now, the thing about this, when you've got these tiny pieces, you really need to get some glue on them so they don't flip up and get torn off. Okay. We'll just put them in here, tucked in, like that. And then we can put some words or something. Oh, I wish I'd put them down a little bit. They'll be fine. So now we got that. Now we gotta have something to put in here. What should we put in here? I should have brought more stuff. More stuff. But my goodness, there's only so many, that's the problem. When you get ready to do one of these things, there's only so many things that you can think that you might need. And when you've got way more stuff than is sitting around you, then it makes it kind of hard to, think about all the things that you would like to use. Now, I had a fun ledger book. Where is it? I've got this book, and I thought it would be fun to use a piece of paper out of here. And now that I made such a mess with the ink, I'm glad I've got something kind of large to put over here. And I don't know if I want to cover the whole thing up. I think I will. Let's do it. Let's cover it up. I'm going to go ahead and leave this edge straight because it's going to go over there. Well, then that'll seem odd, won't it? If I've got straight edges and ripped off edges. But will it? It's me. And then keep holding it tight all the way down as you tear. I was saying something about that the other day. I'm going to leave this one straight that is next to the thing, but I think let's try and give this a tiny bit of a tear on the top and the bottom. So just hold it tight. 11. I have no idea what 11 would be. I should have looked for a number that was kind of meaningful. You guys ever look for numbers like maybe it's how old somebody is, maybe it's the year of your birth, maybe it's how many people are in your family, how many kids you have. I mean, there's always fun ways to use numbers, right? I think so. Lots of fun ways. So let's turn it this way and it'll be easier to see where we want to do it. And I think if we just leave a little bit of a border around it too, that'll make it look a little bit more intentional. Like that. Okay. Now, I don't know. Should we leave it? You know what? I think I'm going to glue on the 3 edges, and that'll give us a pocket on the top. I mean, you'd have something long. It would have to be long to put in there. But, sometimes it's kind of fun. Something that is long, like a little bookmark or something, and it can have a little bit of ribbon coming out the top of your little folios. I always think that's kind of fun. Okay. And you guys, look, now I've been able to cover up that mess I made with my inky fingers. Inky fingers can make a mess, right? Well, you guys have been missing some of the... I know. I love ledger paper too, Susan. I think that is a lot of fun. You can, especially when buying a house, identify with numbers. Oh my goodness. You guys are funny. Okay, so we got that there. And then I think it would be fun. Oh, we still have a nice little amount of time. Let's fix something for the front. Well, this is a little bit more, we wanted to make some pockets. We could still put another little pocket in here. I got, where is it? I tore off a piece. That's not it. Well, now it makes me wonder what, it's like I have a whole pile of stuff I was going to use that I have set out of the way. Oh, that is just so odd. I thought I'd put stuff in this little tub next to me. I wonder if I was getting ready and left it in the other room. That wouldn't surprise me. It's not. I mean, it could happen. You guys, I really think that's what has happened. Well, it was some fabric like this. It was another piece that was like this. And I had already gotten a piece torn off, and I was going to use it for a little pocket like this. But that's too... I don't like that. It's too crookedy. That needs a pressed down to be able to use it very well. Let's do something in here and make kind of a belly band though. Got all kinds of lace. Nope. Well, I wanted something pretty. I wanted something that was kind of even on both sides and pretty. Oh, here's something. I love this. Let's put this on and make it kind of a little belly band looking thing. You guys, how many, you know, I don't mind using cream colors all together. And sometimes I might, you know, go back and use a little bit of ink on them to give them a tiny bit of color. But, you know, I kind of like the cream colors. You know, how many of you do this? You flip-flop, trying to decide which really is the front. Let's see. Let's get the... Oh, my word. Found the circle punch. Where's the fabric scissors now? Now I'm going to have to try and chop my way through this, I guess. I set them out of my way. Those dang fabric scissors. They're on the wanted list half the time, aren't they? You guys know they are. It's kind of hysterical. And not. Funny, not funny. Oh, that one too bad. Hey, that one too bad at all, except now it's crooked up there. Let's try and see if we can... Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, I think I can trim a tiny bit off. Look at that. Look, you guys, even cream on cream, it looks pretty, doesn't it? So let's make it into like a little belly band there. You want to? So you guys, remember, Christy from Funky Junk Inspiration is going to be on right after me. Oh my goodness. Shake it up, baby. Okay. There we go. I got so much lace, and I don't know. I always debate whether I want to color it or not, because you guys know I don't always do things that are, you know, a vintagey nature. And I think that's probably why I don't really like just, you know, randomly doing all of it, right? Okay. Look at that. Oh, thank you, Heidi. I know, right? Isn't that perfect for a belly band? Oh, that's pretty. I like that. Now we need something fun over here and something on the front. That looks a little crooked. Let's move it over a little bit. You know, and when you do something like this, things that can really make it kind of deceiving as to whether it's in the center or not is because you've got these lines, and maybe they're not centered. Like, you know, we've got these, and here's this far from here. Now you can see faintly behind it, here's another one that starts here. Well, they aren't the same distance from the edges. And so when you do something like that, you know, you just kind of have to look at it and go, okay, you know, it looks okay like this. Because, and this one, there's can you see this other line that's going down through the lace? Well, wouldn't that be fun if it could have been like in the middle, but it's not. And, you know, if it was that way, I wouldn't have liked it. I wanted the belly band more in the center. But, you know, you can put your belly band wherever you want to. You don't have to have it right there. Now, I think it would be really fun to put... Well, I don't know. I really had wanted to use some of this. But now that we put this on here and there's so many lines and stuff on there, I don't really think that a chunk of this is going to work. I don't really like that on there. It's too many. This has got so many lines, and then this has so many lines. So I think it would look better at this point if we've got something that, you know, would be, and maybe that's what we do. Maybe we make a little, you know, a little bundle of stuff that is, you know, more of a solid right here. And then I guess we could put a little bit, you know, on top of that. That would be kind of fun. Then it shows up a little bit better, right? You put something solid under it, and then you can put more interest on here, and then find something fun. Like, you guys, I've had so much fun finding some of those pieces of like broken jewelry. Oh, cream colored lace in the button box. Oh no, postcard box. Oh my word. Why isn't someone here to help me? Who's gonna come be my assistant? Who wants to come? The position is available. You can join me on adventures, because they are adventures, aren't they? So we could find something fun for the front. Ooh, would we want something kind of big? Oh, that's kind of garish. I don't know. We'd have to find something fun. Oh, look at this little pin with these angels. That doesn't really go with our postcard theme inside, but you know, it's just fun to see what you can find for little broken bits and pieces, right? Here's a black and white earring. Now I don't really like that because we got so much brown going here on here. We don't really need that black. I don't know. There might, and you know what? There might not be anything in here that I would want to use. Honestly, you never know. Maybe I'll find a cool button. And, you know, or maybe we could make, oh, this would be kind of cool. Maybe we could use something like this. This is an earring, and then put a button over the top of it. There's so many ways to go when you've got little random bits and pieces, right, you guys? So I hope you guys have had fun today. We're not quite done. My time isn't up, but I hope that you have, I hope I've given you an idea or two. That's always my goal, is to teach you something while I'm on here with you, or share an idea. Teach or share. I like to do both of those things. So I hope that you have enjoyed this today. Which part did you think was the most interesting? And I like, there's always people that have never seen this closure method. I always like showing that because that's always fun. Now this part, we need something in here. I wish this was frayed at the top. And you know what? Here's an idea. You know, I should cut, oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut some of this same lace stuff off and put it across the top of that. And then that will really pull that together, right? It will look so much better, because that just looks, I don't like it. I don't even know what to say about it, except I don't like it. So we can put this on here. Oh, look how great that's going to look. So I'll put that on there. And I might even leave that little arch in it. But it's still a pocket. It's still going to be a pocket. So I'll glue this right on here. Now, when I get ready to glue this onto here, I'll need to put something between the fabric. I'll need to put something under the fabric. Like I'll probably grab like a piece of parchment paper or something, because that way I won't risk gluing, the glue won't be able to seep through the fabric and, you know, glue to the paper. So that's probably, and I'm glad I thought about that, because that could happen, right? But I do like this peach with it. It kind of gave a tiny hint of color instead of just the whole thing being bland, right? So, but yeah, here was what we were supposed to do today, was add our pocket. And so we've got this fun house in here. Actually, it says it's in New London, Connecticut. Can you talk? New London, Connecticut. Isn't that cool? And sometimes you can find postcards that were actually sent to somebody. I don't know what this says. It says Miss Airlin, or I don't know. Who knows what it says. And then we'll get some words and put something in here with these gals. Something fun. Got our another pocket over here. We've got this pocket back here. I don't know. I might be able to, I bet I can. I bet I can put a little thumb notch in there. Maybe. Can we? Yeah, it's gonna be, I got enough room that I can do that. So we'll just kind of eyeball that. We gotta get our pocket and we can go ahead and do that. See? Now we got that. So our pockets, what did I call this say? I called it something. You know, I always call my stuff something. Oh, you guys, my turn is over, and so let's head over. If you're in the Crafty Bunch, just refresh your browser, and you will be able to see our next person, which is going to be, I was trying to change my scene, and I can't. It's going to be Christy with Funky Junk Inspiration. You guys, thanks for joining me today. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.